Hello all and welcome back to my channel. I am Rebecca Bhattacharya and I will be continuing with my deep learning playlist. In my previous lecture I have discussed with you about the basic definition of the activation function, and also I have discussed with you about the two types of linear activation function, that is the sigmoid activation function and the threshold activation function. So in this lecture I am going to teach you about the two drawbacks of the sigmoid activation function, that is the vanishing gradient and the exploding gradient problem. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So let's start with the first topic, that is the vanishing gradient problem. Now I have already told you in my previous lecture that the updation of the weights is done using the backpropagation algorithm. The formula for the weight updation I have already told you is that Wn new is equal to Wn old minus the learning rate multiplied with the partial derivative of the loss function with respect to that particular weight. Now let us consider this figure. So in this figure the first layer is the input layer where the inputs are applied, and W1 and W3 are the outputs from are the weights that are assigned to the inputs from the first neuron, and W2 and W4 are the weights that are applied to the inputs from the second neuron, right? So after the weights are applied, this then goes to the hidden layer where the pre-processing is done and an output is generated, which then goes to the final output layer in order to form the output. So O1 is actually the predicted output, which gives the output Y dash. Now after that Y dash is generated, the loss function is calculated in order to compare the predicted output with the actual output. So this was the basic of the backpropagation algorithm. I have already discussed with you in my previous lecture. So now this is actually a two-layer neural network. The derivative term, let us consider that we want to update the weight W5. So the derivative term in the weight updation formula will be given like this, that is del L by del W5, or the partial derivative of loss with respect to the weight W5 will be equal to the del L by del output I. Output I here it will be O1, because the loss function is getting affected by the output O1. So del L by del output I here it will be O1 for the weight W5 input into the del output I, that is del of O1 by del of W5, because here the output O1 is getting affected by the weight W5. So this is actually the chain rule of differentiation that is used in the weight updation formula in backpropagation algorithm. Now what is the gradient descent problem? So this is actually the information, that is the derivative of the sigmoid function range from 0 to 0.25. So I have already discussed with you about the sigmoid function in my previous lecture, and I have told you that the output of the sigmoid function ranges from 0 to 1 and the derivative of the sigmoid function ranges from 0 to 0.25. So this is actually the graph of the sigmoid function. Here 0.5 is the threshold. Above 0.5 the output will be 1, and below 0.5 the output will be 0, and this is actually the derivative of the loss function. Now given the information that is the derivative of the sigmoid function ranges from 0 to 0.25, let's go back at this formula again and let us consider that the value for del total error by del output I, or del O1, is, suppose the value is 0.2, and the value for the next derivative term, that is del output I or del O1 by del W5, is equals to, suppose it is 0.02. Remember one thing, that as we go deeper in the neural network, this value for the derivative will go on decreasing. So the first value will be a little bit higher than the second value, because the first term is the final output layer of the neural network, and as we go inside the neural network, the value of the derivative will go on decreasing, right? So the first term has the value of 0.2, and the second term, suppose it has the value of 0.02, then it will be approximately 0.004. Now we already know the weight updation formula, that is Wn old, that is here Wn old will be W5 is equals to Wn minus the learning rate into the derivative term. So this will be the updated W5. Okay, so W5 new will be equals to W5 old minus the learning rate into the derivative term. Let us consider that we have taken the old value of W5 as 25 or 30. Okay, it can be any value. Suppose I am considering it as 25. So let us suppose that the weight W5 is initialized to 25, and the minus eta, suppose the learning rate is 1, and the value for this derivative term I have calculated, that is the 0.004. So if we subtract 25 minus the learning rate 1 into 0.004, it will be something like 24.49, something like that. So it will be approximately 24.46 or 24.49. Now this is actually the value for the two layer neural network. Now if we consider some more layers in the neural network, then the derivative term will go on decreasing, because each of the derivative term will go on decreasing as we go deeper into the neural network. So if suppose the first derivative term is 0.1, our second derivative term is 0.01, then the third derivative term is 0.001, so it will keep on decreasing like this. So for the three layer neural network, the value will be something around 10 to the power minus 7 or 10 to the power minus 6, depending on the values that you are choosing. So suppose the value is 10 to the power minus 6. Now if we subtract the old weight, suppose it is 30, and we are subtracting this the old weight from 10 to the power minus 6 or 10 to the power minus 7, and the learning rate we are considering as 1, then it will be approximately equal to our old weights. Okay, so we can see after certain epochs that as the number of layers go on increasing, our new weight will be equal or approximately equal to the old weight. So there will be almost no updation in our old weight. So this is actually the vanishing gradient problem, for which we cannot use sigmoid function, and that is why the ReLU function came into existence. This vanishing gradient problem is actually due to the derivative, the range of the derivative of the sigmoid function, that is 0 to 0.25. So this is the vanishing gradient problem. This is one drawback of the sigmoid function. So this vanishing gradient the problem nullifies the effect of the backpropagation, that is the weights will not be updated, and the new weight will be approximately equal to the old weight, and there will be no effect of the backpropagation algorithm. So for this reason we cannot use sigmoid function. Another drawback of the sigmoid function is the exploding gradient problem. Now this exploding gradient problem generally occurs due to the weights. Okay, so this problem occurs when the weights are very high. That is, we have initialized weight to be very high. Then this exploding gradient problem occurs. Now how this problem occurs? So let's consider this figure. That is, this is one input, and this input is assigned the weight of W1. Now after the weight is assigned, it goes to the hidden layer where the pre-processing takes place, and after the pre-processing takes place, the output is generated. That is, O1 is the output. This output then acts as the input to the second hidden layer. So a weight is assigned to this output O1, that is W2. Then the next hidden layer performs the required pre-processing, and it will give an output O2, which will then go to the output layer. So this output O2 will then act as input to the output layer, for which the weight W3 is initialized. Then finally the output O3 is generated, which forms the predicted output, that is Y dash. Now we already know this equation, that is Wn new is equal to Wn old minus eta into del L by del Wn. So this is our formula for weight updation. It is already known to us. Now let us consider that we want to update the weight W1. Let the weight W1 is initialized to some high value. Okay, so suppose the weight is initialized to 600 or 500, it can be any value. It should be a very high value. Suppose it is initialized to 600, and suppose that the chain we want to update this weight. So the chain rule of differentiation for this weight will be this this expression, the partial derivative term. So del L by del W1 will be del L by del O3, because the output O3 is affecting the loss function, then multiplied by del O3 by del O2, because the output O2 is getting affected by the output O3, then multiplied with the output del O2 by del O1, since O1 is O1 is affecting the output O2, multiplied with del O1 by del W1, since the output O1 is getting affected by the weight W1. So this is actually our chain rule of differentiation expression. Now suppose that the weighted sum is calculated. The weighted sum is calculated in the hidden layer, and a bias is then applied, for which an output O1 the output O1 is generated, right? So what will be the term for the weighted sum? It will be Z equals to W2 into O1. Okay, W2 into O1 plus a bias will be added. The weight will be multiplied with the corresponding input. Here the input is O1, which is acting as input to the second hidden layer. So W2 into O1 plus bias, this is the formula for our weighted sum. Now after this weighted sum is calculated, the activation function will be applied, which will produce the output O2, right? So O2 is equals to activation function of Z. So this activation function will then produce the output O2. Now let us find this term del O2 by del of O1. Let us find this term del O2 by del of O1. So what will be the expression for this term? We can write the expression like this, that is del O2 by del O1. Since O2 is activation function of Z from this equation, so we can substitute the value of O2 as del of activation function of Z by del of Z. We are performing the chain rule of differentiation in this case, into del Z by del O1. Since why del Z by del O1? Because the weighted sum or the Z is getting affected by the output O1. So depending on the output O1, the weighted sum will be calculated. The value of the weighted sum will be calculated. So this del O2 by del O1 is actually the output, the derivative, the partial derivative of the output O2 with respect to output O1. Okay, so this is the chain rule of differentiation for this term. Now del Z by del O1. What is Z? Z is W2 into O1 plus a bias. So if we substitute this value of Z as del of W2 into O1 plus a bias by del of O1, then we already know the differentiation rule from our 11th and 12th standard. So we can perform the differentiation, and after performing the differentiation we can find out that this del Z by del O1 term will be equal to W2. Why? Because the del W2 into O1 with respect to del O1 will be W2 plus a bias, the constant, the derivative of the constant will be 0. So it will be W2. Now suppose this is W2, and we already know that the derivative of the sigmoid function range from 0.0 to 0.25. Let us consider that this value is 0.25, and let us say that this W2 this W2 value, this is actually the W2, and this W2 value, let us say it is to be 600. Okay, so now the W2 value is 600. Now what will be this case? 600 into some into 0.2 suppose, so it will be something around 120. So this value is 120. The value for this derivative is 120. Again, the del O1 by del W1, suppose it is 125. Suppose del O3 by del O2 be again 100. So multiplying all these value will result into a very larger value. Now if we put this larger value in this equation, then what will be the result? Then suppose Wn old is Wn old, that is W1 is 500, and minus eta is the learning rate, that is our learning rate, we consider it as 1 suppose, and del L by del Wn is a very large number. So 125 into 100 into 150, so it will be a very large number which is greater than 600. So we are basically subtracting a small number from a large number. So if we subtract a small number from a large number, then what will be the result? It will result in a very negative number. So the weight will be the new updated weight will be a negative number, and so in that case it will vary a lot from the actual initial old weight. So let us consider if the old weight is 500, and if the updated weight after performing the necessary calculations is minus 600, then there is a huge difference between the old weight and the new weight, right? So in that case the weights are varying a lot, and for this the gradient descent will never converge. It will keep jumping here and there, and it will never reach the global minima, that is the gradient descent will never converge. So this is the second problem that actually occurs when the weights are very high. If we consider the weights to the weights that are initialized at first to the inputs are very high, then this exploding gradient problems occurs in the sigmoid function. Due to these two problems, that is the vanishing gradient problem and the exploding gradient problem in the sigmoid function, the ReLU activation function came into existence. So I will be discussing about the ReLU activation function and also about the leaky ReLU and the softmax activation function in my next video. So that's all for this video. See you in my next lecture. Thank you.